Okay, so now it's raining a bit, but we've got the tear down. Taking the rear diff apart just for service. I didn't really need it, but I just wanted to check on it, make sure the gears are all healthy and stuff. But we've got it off. I'm gonna clean it up while it's off. You see, she's been used and abused. So I'm just trying to check for anything wrong in the rear diff. And then after I get that took apart, serviced, back together, all on here, I'm gonna move to doing the front diff, service it. And then these, I don't think these diffs have quite reached their service point. Transmission definitely hasn't, so this one's fine. I just geared up this one. That's kind of why I wanted to check on these, because I just did a gear up. So I wanted to make sure that this was okay. It's very loud in here. I've got my camera stand. I'm just not using it currently because, well, shit. Gotta do what you gotta do. This is literally all the bolts that had to come off. Just not much. And I like these hexes here because they've got a little locking nut. Locks it onto the shaft. And it's got this classic style. I'm gonna clean all these up. Clean all the hardware up. Clean all this up. Fresh grease. Probably replace a bearing or two. Because I mean, like, if it'll focus. You fuck. There we go. Yeah, see, it's all. Oh, drop the phone, why don't you, Michael? Alright. Anyways, I'll be back. I'll be back when I get this apart. Okay, so we got it apart. I'm glad I took it apart. These were starting to. I mean, they spin good, but they're rough. So, nice cleanup, get all this rust out. I didn't know about this, but these, it's got like actual bearing pillar blocks and everything. These are just some nice diffs. Nicer than a lot of the ones I've had, but you know, just do a service, clean everything out. Because I mean, like, if you look down there, like, that's just not healthy for bearings. So I'm going to get all of this cleaned up, and I'll be back. I'm going to show you it apart. There's the ring gear, there's the pinion gear, there's an axle, there's an axle. Also kind of wanted to compare it to the axles I got to see if I maybe had something that would be able to work as a replacement in case I broke one of these. But these are fucking beefy axles, so I don't think I'll break one, but just in case. Okay, so apparently we're running a 30T 8-tooth, so 38, so what is that? 30 turns of this is 8 turns of that? I don't know. I guess 30 teeth there, 8 teeth there. I don't know. That's my gear ratio for my rear diff. I'm gonna see if I have replacements for these. These bearings are fine. I can flip them. Because those seals are like pushed in, so I can flip them to the side where the seals are good, so they'll seal again. And those go on it. Let's see, we cleaned up the axles. They're looking good, they're healthy, no stress, no fractures, no nothing. No ground up teeth. I mean, like, they still got their like manufacturing edge. This one you can see a little bit better. I actually cleaned it. You can see they're worn, but I mean that's nothing unusual. We cleaned up the housing, got it nice and clean. Got the back panels clean. Got these little caps clean. Cleaned up these pillar blocks. These things are interesting. Cleaned them up, flushed them out. They were a little gritty, so I flushed them out with some WD. I'm going to be repacking them with. I'll be honest. I pack my diffs with Vaseline. It's easy to deal with. It's not like toxic to get on your skin. It's easy to fucking load up. It stays pretty solid. Now on hot days you might get a little leakage. That's if you overpack it, which I probably will because I want to waterproof my thing. So I'm gonna pack in there and in there. Just make sure there's like some Vaseline in there, and then pack it all. I couldn't really get in there to clean that up, but that's what the inside looked like. That was what it was full of, was all of that. That's nice. So there's rear diff. Here's front diff. Oh man. So I'm about to try to work on this one. This one though feels smooth as can be. I figured out it was my rear one that had that weird. It had a weird chug to it. The noise is gone when I took the rear diff off, so that's why I was cleaning it, because I thought maybe I'd chipped one of these gears and it was just rattling around in there or something. It's probably just a combination of the bearing, these bearings making noise, that one making noise, and these two making noise. So I will be back when it's all together. So real quick before I get everything together, I gotta put those bolts in, but this is what I meant by I'm gonna overpack it. You can look in there, the tubes are stuffed with it. Side two, it's stuffed with Vaseline. It's just like so water can't get like. So my thought process is, if there's enough of that in there, and that's easy enough, you just squirt it with some WD and it liquidizes and it runs off and cleans off really easily. But my idea is that if there's that in there, there's no way water can get in. So, you know, fill it with something so it can't get full of water and ruin your bearings. So yeah, I just wanted to show that. Got one cap on, but I just wanted to show this right here. So let's pull that out. Yeah, my fingers are covered in it, but if you look, jeez. Oh, damn it. Hey, she's full. See that? I gotta seat my bearing and everything, but yeah, she's full. So I'm gonna get this set up. Once I get it all the way back together, I'll come back with an overview of how it feels. Alright, and we now have axle assembled and cleaned. I took the liberty of wiping it all off. I thought I had to use pliers to tighten that. Turns out I could use these tools over here, because I have a 1.5, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This one. Yeah, the 1.5. So the one I got's a little worn out, you know, so it slips a lot. But this one's brand fucking new, so it ain't gonna slip at all. I forgot about that so I got to the last bolt. So I thought I needed to replace all the hardware. I started replacing, got 3 of them replaced. 1, 2, 3, and then I started just using the hardware that came with it, with the proper, well, this is the proper, it's just worn out, a brand new. But the small one, I have a ridiculous amount of extra stuff. This right here. So here's my motor mount for something small and fast. That's what I'm going to use that for, something small and fast. Anyways, so we've got the axle. It's going to go on there, like that. Look pretty. Already looks pretty. It's nice and cleaned up. It'll take all of 5 minutes of playing with this thing to dirty that up. Do I need to rebuild on my shocks yet? They feel fine. They don't look like they're leaking. Does it? Are they leaking? They're wet, but that's WD. The seal isn't. Okay. Cool. Anyways, yeah, we've got to reattach this. Got incision shafts on here. Everything that looks wet is WD, because I've been spraying with WD and cleaning, just trying to get the water that's all in this system, because, like, see, there's like muddy, rusty water stuff all over it. Trying to get all of that out. The noise you're hearing is that thing. But that one's smooth, so I don't know if I don't even know if I need to take this one apart, but I'm going to, because I did this one and I rebuilt this one. And so if you like this is kind of a test video. If you like this, I can do a long format, or I can continue to do shorts where I just kind of cut in and out on my progress on things. So yes, if you stuck around, you get to see my shop. This is the shop so far. I'm only using half of a building because the other half is just a mess. I need to clean that. But it's kind of chilly and raining. I'm sure you can hear the rain. But yeah, we've got a shop going, and I'm trying the stand-up concept, the stand and work concept instead of the sit and work, because my back hurts when I sit and work. My back hasn't been hurting, my feet do, but I mean that's fine. I can deal with that. But if you'd like a long format video where the camera is something like this over here, or something like like that over there, just shining down, showing what I'm doing while I'm doing it in a longer format, I will of course have to do a lower quality than this. This is 4K, so I just wanted to do my test video in a good quality, just so you can see my shop. And I have sealed in between these gaps just because small screws and shit, dude. If I drop that down there, like, you know, that's lost. But now I can pick it up. Ta-da! Sucks for when you get water on it, but that's okay. It's what rags are for. You clean it up. It's really good to have some of these around when you're working on RC cars. Clean your hands, clean what you're working on. You don't want dirt and grit all inside of here. This thing, ooh, so smooth. Doesn't even make a noise. Before you could hear it rolling, and I didn't like that, so I packed the bearings that were on either side of that, the carrier bearings, and then flushed all the other bearings and tried my best. It's hard to pack a sealed bearing, but I tried my best to repack them with some Vaseline. Yes, Vaseline. It's great. It's great, like diff fluid for RC cars, man. Because when it gets hot, it liquidizes and starts to flow everywhere. So I feel like that's better. At least for something like this where you're sealed all the way around. I haven't had this leak yet. I say yet because it probably will. These are Curry. These are Rock Jock Curry axles. So I've been told. Anyways, we're past that 10-minute mark. We're at 12 minutes and I'm rambling. So let me get this together, and I will give you a final shot of it all together at the end and give a wrap up of, I guess, I don't know, I guess what it took to do this, how I felt about what it took to do this. Didn't take much, but you know, we'll see. Something I just want to make note of, my links, the end rods, just a little big, and they rub. They make it tight. Well, not now, but just because I've been sitting here doing this, just letting itself clear, you can kind of see. Put a focus on this instead of the background. Come on, come on. Focus on that. You see, I'm using this to self-clear because you do want like free articulation in here. You don't want like not able to move, because then it does weird stuff while you're driving. So I'm gonna do this for a minute. I just wanted to make note of that. Make sure your link's clear, and if they don't, either shave the links down, shave your housing, because I could go in there with a file and just file this area a little wider so I could fit my links, but this works a lot faster because then I have to remove my links, go down here, dig through my drawer, grab this file, which is a chainsaw file, so it's a very fine file, and then file away at that. Didn't feel like doing that right now. Probably do it later when I need to replace. Whenever I need to replace these end links, I'll probably do that clearancing. It's kind of why I wanted to make note of it now, so later I can look back at this video, or somebody can remind me, or I can remind myself, hey, I need to shave that down. Alright. Okay, so let's just make note of this because this is funny to me. I've got all of this assembled. I've got it this far. I'm literally just to the last 2 bolts. And I've got to take it all apart because I looked over and I'm like, wait a second, what do these go to? Yeah, these hold down the bearing that holds my spool in, and those are kind of necessary. So now I have to take all of this apart again. Haha. Figured out a way around it. I can leave my struts bolted up, unbolt that top, flip this over, and then I can service that or put these bolts in. I'm a fucking doof, man. That's a boof ass move right there. While I'm here, I'll just go ahead and file that fucking shit, because why not? Okay, so here's modification. right there. Filed it down a little bit. You're not really ever going to notice it. It's up top in the back, but it should make that that back and forth wiggle and this up and down movement a lot smoother. Yeah, like that feels stiff, man. That feels heavy, but boy, this thing has the weight to like, this thing's so heavy it actually compresses it. Like, see? Anyways, let me get this apart, put those 4 screws in, and get this thing together finally. Just to show, these are the screws I forgot. Very important. Very, very important screws here. And I forgot them. Like a dumbass. Alright. Cool, we've got the diff reassembled, all original except for that one, and that one is just because that head fills that hole a lot better. To me, it looks more, it's more aesthetically pleasing, even though you ain't gonna fucking see it. I like doing small shit like that. So now it's upper links, lower links, drive shaft. Drive shaft's gonna be the last thing, because that thing's annoying to fuck with if you bump it and it comes undone. So, upper links, lower links, drive shaft, and then show you what the actual truck looks like. So this, this is what I mean. You want that to be smooth. It's not gonna, of course it's not gonna buck like that, but you want that to be smooth. And now, it is super smooth. Took all of that out with just that little bit of shaving and what I did with self-clearing. Perfect. So this is the body to the truck we've been working on. That'll dry out, just gotta let it sit out in the sun. Got wet. But this is a vs4-10, it's a Vanquish vs4-10 Origin Limited. This is the Black Trail edition, but it's been painted purple. Somebody bought a different body and painted it purple, obviously. See, it's an Origin. I'll take the body off. And the only reason I know it's the Trail is because it does not have the VFD transmission. It's got the 3-gear trans, and that's a Vanquish trans. It's not an axial. It's Vanquish. But yeah, I'm running a Fusion SE 1800 kV on a 21T. I'm running an axial, like literally just an axial gear, because I like the way that sounds. It's quiet. 8 mod, 9 mod, a little loud for my liking. This one's running a, I believe it's a 9 mod. Yeah, this one's running a 9 mod, and it's loud. Even if you run the mesh like super loose, it's loud. This one, quiet, but it was slow. So I went from an 18 to a 21, and I have not tested it yet, which I probably should do some testing, but I probably won't. This thing has a full light kit. It's got the headlights, the Vanquish bumper, and then the tail lights, the nice ones too. Missing door handle, scratched to shit. Body's not in the best condition. Okay, I'll be honest, it's terrible. It's even got a magnet mount that I don't use. I just kind of leave there. I think their idea is to like have it in there and then have that magnet mount to that, but they never really implemented it. I might just take that off and keep it somewhere, because that's a decent magnet mount, and it's not being used. But yeah, this is the truck we rebuilt the diff on today. Got the rear diff redone. Smooth like butter. This thing has no motor braking when it's depowered. When you put some power to it, it has motor braking. Well, actually, I could do a test. I got a pack right there. Got the remote right there. So, hold on. Okay, so we're on 3S. I have not run this. I have not run this motor or anything on 3S. So it's going to be a little happier than it normally is. And yes, we are. It's an XT60. XT60 to Dean's on 3S. Why not? So let's see, crawling. Oh yeah, she can still crawl. But she now has wheel speed. I can still See that, dude. See how just buttery smooth it is in the rear, just continuously going? The front though. I'm worried about gears when that happens. But the rear, smooth like butter. I gotta do some running in. That's 10. That's a well-balanced truck, shit. She can just creep. Alright, so seeing it on a bench is nothing compared to having it on the ground, because we've got all this play that it's fighting. This one, not so much. That one, all of the play. So, let me throw this battery pack in here, and we'll just scoot her around the floor, see how she actually drives. Alright, so we've got it on the ground. I gotta clean my controller. WD'd and greasied it up. But, you know, we've got it on the ground. Let's start applying throttle. Ooh. Yes, she can still crawl. And she has... just to display this real quick, because this is cool. If you can get it up. There we go. There we go. And she walks too. She gets that far before she gets stuck, because the front tires can't carry no more. That front bumper is a problem, because on approach, see, we're on bumper now. And this is why we do the service, because now the rear doesn't have slop like the front does. See? I don't know if you can tell, but you can see, like, there's that wiggle slop. Look at the rear. Not sloppy like the front. So I might take the front diff apart and rebuild it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That was a fun video to make. That was a fun thing to do, was rebuilding this diff, and it's kind of nice to do something on video. Show my work, I guess it would be said. But yeah, let's turn this off. Make sure it's off. Okay, it's off. Radio off. Over there. Ta-da. And this, okay, excuse me, let's get this out of the way. And then this truck is done now. This truck has done a full service for today, because I took it out, took it in a river, and it was acting up, so I just wanted to make sure everything was fine.